Whether you're watching, listening or reading this, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we're on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days the distance of one lap around the world. It is a staggering 40,075 kilometres. It's going to take somewhere in the region of 11 years to accomplish, so plenty of time to raise that money. I'm going to commit to running at least 5 kilometres every day whilst vlogging, and I will even do it barefoot style. So for those regulars will know that when I run, I vlog about my passions, which are entrepreneurship and running, and most importantly how these topics link together to help people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. Now it's a fresh morning today. The sun's trying to come out. It's pretty blowy and it's about 5 or 6 degrees, so not too bad running conditions. And it is Friday Funnels today, where we talk about all things sales, funnels and marketing. And today's topic is all about hot traffic. So as always, if you like this episode, please give it a like and subscribe. Please support the channel by subscribing, and let's get started. So, what is hot traffic? Well, hot traffic is one of 3 different types of traffic. Now, if you're not aware of what we mean by traffic, in the marketing sense, this is basically people or visitors on websites, web pages, adverts. So online traffic is online visitors basically, or online people. It's the more traffic you have, the more people you have exposed to your content or websites or whatever you've got online. And so traffic can be split into 3 main groups. And if you think of a continuum where you've got problem or pain on one end of the scale, and on the other end of the scale you've got product and solution, that's how the kind of cold, warm and hot traffic are kind of categorized. And I'll explain briefly how each type works. Let's get through this gate. So on the far left hand side, where we're looking at pain and problem, these are people who are problem aware. Okay, they're aware that they have a problem, but they have no idea what the solution is, and they have no idea who you are or your products or services. So that's what we call cold traffic. They are a target audience for you because, let me just get under here, because they are have got the problem that your product or service solves, but currently it's not a big enough issue for them, as in they don't have the desire necessarily to solve it, and they aren't even aware of the solution. So there's a lot of work to be done with cold traffic to educate them further down the continuum. You then have warm traffic, which is traffic that are problem aware. They're also aware that there are solutions out there, and they're probably aware of some of them, and they have a desire to solve that problem. Okay, this is a great audience. These are people that are primed to learn more about you and what your product and service does. Okay, so this is warm traffic. So in this example, they have a problem, they know about the solutions, and they have a desire to solve it. So they're looking for the right option which solves their problem, okay? But they don't know about you, and they don't know about your products and services at this stage. And then you have hot traffic. Now these are, what you define as your kind of true fans, if you like. So these are people who have a problem, they know about the solution, they have a desire to solve that problem with the solution. They know all about you, they've probably followed you for quite a long time, so that they know, like and trust you, and they know your products and services. So this is hot traffic, and what we're trying to convert as many of the cold and warm traffic into, because these are people who are going to be your potential buyers or customers. And with these examples, you don't ever shortcut the process. You take people on a nurturing process from cold to warm to hot. And for today's episode, we're going to focus primarily on hot traffic. Okay, so this is the easiest traffic to convert, for obvious reasons. That all you really have to do here is have a product or service that you're releasing have some kind of incentive or offer that increases the perceived value. But you don't have to do a lot of that with this audience, because, like I say, they are your true fans. And then you have to ask them for the order. Okay, if you ask them for the order, the conversion rate should be extremely high with this type of traffic. This is the kind of golden chalice of online traffic. The more people you have in your hot traffic category, the more successful your online business will be ultimately, providing you're asking for the sale. Because but to convert this traffic is generally going to be something along the lines of sending them an email or some form of communication, whether it's for a Facebook group, an email, a text message of some kind. They already know, like, and trust you, so there's no kind of relationship building to really focus on there. You might have to educate them a little bit on the product or service if it's something that they're not overly familiar with, but ultimately they trust you. So what you tell them, they will generally believe, and as long as it solves or contributes to solving the problem that they desire to solve, then they will buy, okay? And we can do that in a number of ways. I've obviously explained that you might have a very short nurturing sequence to nurture them about how the product is going to solve their problem, so that they're fully aware how it works, the product or service. And the other one is to chuck in a bonus stack which increases the perceived value of the offering. If you do those two things, one of those two things, you will convert hot traffic all day, every day. So, really easily, it could be a very short email sequence saying, it might be linked to a promotional launch that you've done. When people anybody who's hot traffic will generally register for anything you do. And then the nurturing sequence will educate them about the product. If it's this is the key. When you get registrations for a launch, the key thing is to be able to identify the different type of traffic. Okay, and if you can do that and you can market specifically to people based on whether they're cold, warm or hot. Now, cold traffic will be someone you've never come across, so they're not in your CRM or database. The information you're going to provide them in the nurturing sequence is going to be a much longer, slower nurturing sequence. The people who are warm traffic, they might be on your email list, but only for a relatively short time. They've never bought anything from you, so they would be warm. So the nurturing sequence would be slightly shorter, but still quite soft, and it would be predominantly focusing on the solution and how the solution works. And then gradually, once you've nurtured them on the solution, you then start integrating it into what the product or service is and how it works. Hot traffic, they know, like and trust you, so it'll be a relatively short nurturing sequence, and it'll be, you'll talk to them quite casually, as if you can have a relationship. You do have an existing relationship with them, and it might just be a case of, hi guys, this is something I've just released it. You get first option here on this product or service. It's amazing because it solves this problem. You talk about how it solves the problem. I'm doing this off the cuff, by the way, so I put a bit more thought into the language I used if I was doing it properly. But ultimately, you're going to tell them that this solves the solution that they're looking for. You know about me. You know that what I say is what I do. My word is my bond, and this is what my product or service does. Not only are you going to get this, but I'm also going to give you X, Y, and Z on top of that, and I'll give you a preferential or early bird discount price in return for some feedback, something along those lines, and you'll see the conversions go really, really high. So hopefully that kind of gives you the differences between cold, warm and hot traffic and how they work. Warm traffic is the easiest generally to kind of manage, because you just need to be able to ask them for the sale in a way that it should be quite easy. These are people that know, like and trust you, they follow you, they believe in what you do, and it should just be a case of giving them the bare essentials on the product or service and making sure they're aware that it solves the problem that they have, and it's and ask for the sale, increase the perceived value, and you should convert all day long. So hopefully that's useful. Relatively short episode today, but from an online marketer's perspective, our aim is to convert as many people in the cold and warm traffic categories into hot traffic, because when they're in hot traffic, you know, the conversion rate to sale is extremely high. So if we're going to get more sales, we need more hot traffic, and that's how generally it will work. And you do this through funnels, through nurturing sequences. There's so many different ways you can do this. It's like a blank canvas. And you know, how do we convert hot traffic? Well, we have a lot of people that are existing customers, low entry level customers. When we bring in a new product or service which takes people to the next level, we always focus and target our existing customer base first, because they already have a relationship with us, they know how we work, they've stuck with us, they trust, know, like and trust us. So if we can help expedite their journey or take them to the next level quicker, they're always very, very interested, and the conversion rates are normally very, very high. So hope this is useful. So I've explained what hot traffic is, I've explained how it works in the grand scheme of online traffic, I've explained kind of when I've used this technique to existing customers to kind of upsell them into the next level up in my product stack. And you know, why should you be concerned with this? Well, if you're into online marketing, you have any business or product or service that you're selling, I believe you have to be online now. I mean, COVID pandemic has wiped out so many offline businesses. The online ones seem to be the only ones that have thrived through very, very tough times. So online presence is so important, and when you're online, you need to understand the different types of traffic, because when you get this right, your marketing message will do what it needs to do to that type of traffic. If you try and sell to cold traffic, your conversion rates will be non-existent. If you try to sell to warm traffic, again, you'll turn a lot of the warm traffic off, and they might end up going back to cold traffic. So you need to understand the continuum of taking them on this journey from cold, warm to hot to sale. So hope this is useful. As always, if you've got any questions, let's drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If there's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate vlog episode and tag you in. Do check the links in my bios to keep up to date on my challenge to raise £1 million for children's charities by run vlogging on consecutive days, the distance of one lap around the world. And all that's left to say is that, as always, the content I vlog about is about entrepreneurship and running, and most importantly, how it links with helping people overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise as a release mechanism. I use run vlogging as my release mechanism to clear those daily, weekly pressures in the form of stress. Okay, if you don't have that process for processing what's going on, clearing your head, gaining clarity on where you are, refocusing and moving on, what happens is ultimately it's like the analogy of pressure building up in a pipe without a release valve. The pressure builds and builds and builds, and very quickly those stresses will evolve to overwhelm. Overwhelm is when you almost have a seizure or you freeze. You start to procrastinate because you've got too much going on in your head, and then very, very quickly, if you don't release the pressure, then it will evolve even further to anxiety and panic, and then you're flirting with the edges of mental health breakdown. And in the example of the analogy with the pipe will burst, too much pressure, and you'll have a breakdown, and clearly that's what we want to avoid. Now, I've been there, I've lost multiple businesses because of this, I've lost multiple business partners, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this, and it's a horribly dark place that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy. And my pledge to you is, if you are somebody struggling with these emotions, then drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here whatsoever. We'll jump on a quick call, and I'll give you a step-by-step guide on how you can kind of overcome these challenges and get yourself back on the right path. Now, I know this stuff works because I've helped hundreds of entrepreneurs over the years do exactly that, and also there's no coincidence that in the last 11 months of doing this running vlog, I've made more progress in all facets of my life than I have done in the previous 4 to 5 years. So hopefully there's enough social proof this works. And like I said, there's no catch. Runpreneur vlog is not for profit. Yes, we do raise money for charities, but donations are always optional, never essential. The help is free. You just have to be prepared to ask for it. And it's normally easier asking a stranger, and it often doesn't cost you anything if you're prepared to take that risk and ask for that help. So that's pretty much it for me today, and I'll leave you with, as always, do check the links in my bios to keep up to date with this massive journey to raise a huge amount of money for children's charities. And as always, I'll leave you with, stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.